There's more and more hotels coming because they can see there is a demand. People want to do that. They want to combine a healing with a tropical experience.
Yeah.
And this is what Sri Lanka can give you. And also it is very beneficial for the cure to be in a hot climate. There is a difference in, I would say, like doing a wellness treatment and doing really a healing treatment, because nowadays there are also hotels who have like a certification as a hospital. They have their own laboratories, they do the blood tests, they have their own Ayurvedic pharmacies, because in Ayurveda it's herbal medicine, so a lot of things, a lot of medicines, a lot of oils you can prepare yourself. So you have a herbal garden as well, and this is improving. And this is something that I want to make sure that people understand, or that to say so. Like Ayurveda has two purposes. One purpose is to heal, and the other purpose is to maintain your health, so you can be a very healthy person until the day you die.
So how easy or hard is it to establish a setup within this industry with the government? Or do you think anything can improve from their side?
I mean, what I do is like I'm running a private limited, so I'm really legal in here. That was important for me because as a German, I want to be like legal. I want to do everything the right way. I want to pay my taxes. I want to be a participant. I'm not a citizen in here. I still have my German passport, but I want to do it the right way. And because there's nothing more important in your life than your health, right? You have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy in your body, in your mind, in your soul, then what's it worth for, right?
Nothing else matters.
Exactly. But, it's about the food, it's about the sleep, it's about the purpose that you have in life. Am I doing a work that I'm really into, right? It's about the environment that you are living in. So this is why I decided to stay in Sri Lanka and not go to cold Germany again. And also it's about the people that are around you, right? The people. And Panchakarma is a system. It's one of the hard parts of Ayurvedic healing. Stressful lives, yes, but why? What's the reason? Why are you stressing yourself? And so there's deeper questions behind that. And it helps people a lot, especially women.
Hi Angela, welcome to the podcast. Suba alutta avruddakveva.
Suba avruddakveva, asema veva, I would say, right?
Yes. How are you, Angela? How is today?
Oh, thank you, Lena. I'm very good. I already had a little, gathering with my people, with my Sri Lankan friends, and they are also waiting for me to come back and, play some games and eat some food. It's a lot of eating also all the time.
Yes. Are you planning to play games as well?
Well, yes, I was actually, they already started playing games, but I was, concentrated on meeting you and the podcast. So I was not really into it, but I'm sure once we're finished that I will be happy to go there. And, in the evening they have a DJ and they have some dancing. So yes, I'm going to do that.
Nice. I miss all this.
Yeah.
So Angela, I've been following you on social media, and I absolutely love the work you do, your approach on holistic healing and self-improvement and everything I can list, plus your vast knowledge in Ayurveda, which is a very big part of Sri Lanka, part of us. So can you please give us an introduction about yourself, when you came to Sri Lanka and how do you find it, and all about you, please?
Yes, sure. I came to Sri Lanka 2009, and I came here for work actually, because I was working in one of the main Ayurvedic hotels, one of the oldest actually, a big one, 80 rooms. And I was working as guest relation and yoga teacher there for 3 years. And my history about yoga and Ayurveda is much, much older, because I am old school yoga teacher. I did my education about 30 years ago, and it was a 3 years education. So there's not about 200 hours, 400 hours, which is the common thing, what people do right now. And my Ayurvedic masters, it was a couple, they were Ayurveda therapists. So it was already included in my training when I got, and that was life-changing, to say so. yoga training really changed my life until today. And I'm very happy that I could do that in the Ayurvedic hotel to deepen my knowledge, because what I mainly was doing is translation with mostly German guests. So I learned a lot because I was working directly with the doctors. And of course, if you know a little bit about Germans, they are the white people from the white country, because they always ask a lot of questions. So due to these questions, I also learned a lot at that time. And to make the story a little bit shorter, after 3 years, I had to leave there, and I got the opportunity to work for another hotel outside of Sri Lanka. But I came back because I got an offer from another hotel, and I was so much in love with Sri Lanka, I really wanted to come back. So I was working 4 years in another hotel, a German hotel with only 20 rooms. It was a bit more intimate and a bit different approach also. But since then, I'm here. When this job finished, I did hotel inspection for a holiday platform in Germany, very famous one. And I did the hotel inspection, and that was also like really interesting to travel around Sri Lanka and see all the hotels, talk to the doctors, talk to the owners of the hotels. So that was really, really well. But didn't continue because pandemic hit, and so that job was also finished, right? But during the pandemic, I did like 3 certifications. So I'm a holistic life coach now. I'm a business consultant, and I'm a spiritual coach. And so I started to turn around a little bit, and because I always wanted to be self-employed again, having my own business and create things and help people. So that's what I'm doing.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Angela, when did you finally come to Sri Lanka with an idea of doing a business and settling down there?
It wasn't like, I was already in Sri Lanka, and there was a point in my life where I had to make the decision: do I stay or do I go away again? But that was when I already had this house, what you can see in the background, and I already had a lot of cats, 2 dogs. And so I decided, no, I'm going to give myself a chance to create everything that I want to do in life and do it in Sri Lanka. And I didn't regret that, because it's lovely what I do.
You gave a chance to Sri Lanka and yourself.
Yes, exactly. That's good. Yeah.
That's nice. And Lala, how do you find? I keep calling you Lala and Angela. I love both names, by the way.
That's no problem at all.
How do you find life in Sri Lanka as a German person living there? Are the locals good to you? How is it?
Overall, very good, but I'm very stubborn in being a positive person, actually, and that comes back to me, right? With everything and everybody. So I am quite used to the mentality, because it's a bit different. So we have 2 mentalities in Sri Lanka, I would say. The one is coming from Colombo. We have more educated and international people in there. And the place where I'm living is more rural. It's Veligama. It's, really on the countryside. I mean, I'm about 2-3 kilometers from the beach, so it's not that far away. But my area is not touristic. It's getting more touristic because it's expanding. Actually, tourism is expanding
in the south, especially.
Especially, yes. So I'm doing really good. I know, every country has its pro and cons. Every country has good sides and bad sides. So it's a decision. I think as a coach, I would say it's always a decision that you are doing by yourself. Do you want to see these things in positive? And if something negative happens, and it did happen to me, no worries about that. There were things that happened. But how do I react on that? Right?
Yeah.
Do I feel like angry, disappointed, sad, 5 minutes? Okay. But then what does it tell me? How do I overcome that? And how can I be stronger in this situation? And that helps a lot.
Okay, Lala. So how do you see Ayurvedic tourism in Sri Lanka as a person who's certified and experienced in this? How do you see as a country, are we suitable? Are we capable of handling Ayurveda tourism as a vast?
Yes, totally. I'm so happy you asked me this question, because this is my expertise. So Sri Lanka actually the tourism in Sri Lanka already started in the 1960s, 70s. So it's actually quite old, but it started very, very slowly because there was not that much awareness about that it's going to be a business, right? And if we're talking about tourism, it's not only about the healing. It is like, how can we make money to reinvest that in good hotels, in good treatments, in good doctors, in good medicines, and all of this, right?
Yes.
Did you hear that? That was a firecracker.
Okay. But it was very...
Okay, then it's fine, because for me, it was like a shocker. But okay, fine. We are in Avarunu, that's what's happening. Okay, so back to the topic, it's like, if you are aware that this is already like a long story, also the government or the institutions, to say so, they slowly recognize that this is actually something that we invest in. I say we because I feel Sri Lankan, right?
Yeah. We as a country, yes.
We as a country, exactly. So there's more and more hotels coming because they can see there is a demand. People want to do that. They want to combine a healing with a tropical experience. Yeah. And this is what Sri Lanka can give you. And also it is very beneficial for the cure to be in a hot climate. Yes. And there's more little places also coming. So we have a lot of luxury boutique hotels popping up now. And we have a lot of very good educated doctors. A doctor has to do a university degree to practice. And they have an extra certification to do Panchakarma. We are talking about Panchakarma a little bit later. But you were asking me about tourism. I think it is still an ongoing process. We're not at the end. It's expanding. And the institutions, they are more recognizing that they also have to do something. What I would like to say is like the regulations about what kind of hotel it is, because it's not all the same. We have the same educated doctors, and if the doctor is really good, they will make sure that the therapists are well trained and will train them all the time, like keep on training them. But there is a difference in, I would say, like doing a wellness treatment and doing really a healing treatment. Because nowadays, there are also hotels who have like a certification as a hospital. They have their own laboratories, they do the blood tests, they have their own Ayurvedic pharmacies, because in Ayurveda, it's herbal medicine. So a lot of things, a lot of medicines, a lot of oils you can prepare yourself. So you have a herbal garden as well. And this is improving. And this is something that I want to make sure that people understand, that there is a difference between the hotels. If you, as somebody who's listening to this, and you have to make a decision, hey, do I come to Sri Lanka, or for example, go to India for Ayurvedic treatment? The difference between it is, like in Sri Lanka, people make more, the importance is more about having to feel people very comfortable in their treatment. So the hotels they are amazing hotels, really like the dream hotels, right? But make sure to know that how is the doctors working? Do they have their own pharmacy? Do they have a laboratory? Do they have a certification as a clinic? Both is fine. It just depends on what you as a client, as a guest, as somebody who's looking for a healing, what you want. What is your expectation? Because if it is just, to say so, like Ayurveda has two purposes. One purpose is to heal, and the other purpose is to maintain your health, so you can be a very healthy person until the day you die. So these are two main characters. If you have just go for a wellness retreat because you are actually healthy, but you're a little bit burnout, you're a little bit stressed, you need some change from home, then any hotel will do it. But if you have a severe, like a chronic illness, then you should go and dig a little bit deeper in which hotel you are working with, I would say, right? And it's not very, this approach is not very clear if you go to the websites, or if you go to find institutions to talk about these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a
Mm-hmm.
German, we take it very serious, so we want to know about the details. And one of my jobs that I'm doing is I'm talking to people. People call me, word by mouth, and they say, "Hi, we heard that you're an expert in Sri Lanka. What kind of advice can you give to me?" And so I will make sure that these people find the correct hotel that is suiting their needs.
Mm-hmm. So Lala, for expats who are coming or for Sri Lankans in Sri Lanka, what opportunities do you see within this industry of Ayurveda tourism? And listening to you, I got this question that how easy or hard is it to establish a setup within this industry with the government? Or do you think anything can improve from their side?
That's two very important questions, Lena. So first of all, I would say the first part of the question is about the Sri Lankans and the expats searching for Ayurveda. So one thing is Sri Lankans not searching for this kind of Ayurveda because they are, the Sri Lankans have a different approach about Ayurveda because it's like an everyday thing. They go, if they have something, they go for the general hospitals at first, like they had a broken arm or whatever, and they have their school medicine first, and then they go to the Ayurvedic practitioner and they get the oils and the treatments and the medicine. That's mainly how Sri Lankans work. Of course, there are severe cases, and there's Ayurvedic hospitals all around the island where people can go deeper, and it's mostly older people who are doing that. But experts or people coming from other countries, like foreigners coming here, they have a different approach. They are coming for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Sometimes it's if it is a really severe case, they have to stay a little bit longer. Depends on why they are coming. Are they coming for wellness? Are they coming for healing? So if they're coming for wellness, they come from the outside and they just stay at this resort or hotel for the whole time, right? So the second part of the question is, how can the government or the institutions support this? I think they're doing very well already because they are participating on the main events all over the world. I don't know all over the world, to be honest, but I know that they are very present in Germany because Ayurveda is very widespread. It's getting stronger and stronger in Ayurveda in Germany, and so we have exhibitions. And we have all kinds of gatherings. And so that is very popular. And so the Sri Lankan government or the institutions to say so, because there's a ministry for Ayurveda and indigenous medicines, and they make sure that they are presenting themselves. And also some of the hotels, if there is like a convention, there is the possibility also for the hotels to have like a little stall in there and present themselves. I did that one time for one of the hotels I was working. And so, they are doing very well. I think it's something that is growing faster and faster now. Yes.
So as a person who is running an Ayurvedic homestay, how we will talk about it in detail later. But now I want to know, was it easier to establish such a business in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, define easy. To establish a company. I mean, what I do is I'm running a private limited, so I'm really legal in here. That was important for me because as a German, I want to be legal. I want to do everything the right way. I want to pay my taxes. I want to be a participant. I'm not a citizen in here. I still have my German passport, but I want to do it the right way. And also I want to help other people to do it the right way, and not only about Ayurveda, because, the whole section of yoga and all these spiritual techniques like cacao ceremony, ecstatic, it's exploding in this area, right? So we do have a problem around people coming on a tourist visa and working as teachers and whatnot. That is, in my opinion, that is just how it is right now. It will change. It has to change, but it's also because Sri Lanka doesn't make it easy for part-time workers, for seasonal workers. Other countries, for example, if you're a European, it's easy to go to Portugal. Like I'm German, right? I go to Portugal or Spain and I work there for a season and come back. I pay my taxes in this country and then I take it back to my country, right? So there's an exchange arrangement within the countries as well. So that is a bit problematic. For me, myself, it was, since I decided to stay in Germany and I did in Sri Lanka. And since I decided to have my own business in here, it was a process. It took me, I don't know, it took me about half a year to get everything set up with a lawyer, with a company secretary, and all this. This is details that are a little bit boring for this podcast. But if you want to know about that, of course, there's as I do business consulting as well, I help people in Sri Lanka also with my connections, with the network that I'm having. And for the brief introduction, if people want to know briefly how can I do that, just contact.
Okay. I just wanted to know, did it make you cry or was it fine?
No, it didn't make me cry. No. As I told you, I'm a very structured person.
Yeah.
This is one thing. And I'm very stubborn in seeing things positive. So yeah, it is. And, working with an administration, Lena, you know about that because you traveled the world already. So it's like, okay, this is a new country. This is different how it works in my country. So, okay, I need more time. I need to, the English has to be, I'm not speaking Sinhala. And so even if I would speak Sinhala, I wouldn't be good enough to do that, right? So I try to find persons to help me. Like I had already 3 lawyers, I think. I had a business coach myself who is Sri Lankan. So he helped me a lot to settle up things and to do it in the right way. And also with the situation we have right now, this resident visa crisis, even this, I have to do some formal steps to make sure that I get the expansion when it's time. I'm done in September. So I still have a little bit of time, but I do have, there's a lot of help actually also in the country because there's a lot of people who want to create businesses. They like Sri Lanka very much. They like to live here. They like to work here. They like to give their expertise also. It's a lot of people also. I'm lifting up some people as well, the people that are working for me, which are not the experts, but which are like, I make them a better life because I give them jobs. I give them like things to do so they can make some money. So they can, I just been to my mate's place, we had a quite good season actually. And she had a quite good salary. So I could see like, oh, this is new and this is new. And, and I'm so happy about that she's kind of improving her life because of me, because I can give a job to her, right? To work for me. So that's a very nice.
Yeah. It's always nice when the expats help the community where they are. Exactly. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, Lala, let's dive into the main topic of the video, which is Ayurveda itself, which is amazing, wonderful. And I think people need to know more about Ayurveda in this world. So tell us about how you approach it, your holistic approach and Ayurvedic approach. And I think you're running a homestay where you give so many treatments. So can you please tell us about that?
Sure, of course. This is again like 2 questions, 2 answers, Media. So the first thing is about Ayurveda lifestyle, how I live the Ayurvedic lifestyle. And the second thing is how do I help other people to heal, to get better, to rejuvenate, right? And so the Ayurveda lifestyle that I'm providing is like, I'm doing that since 30 years already. So I'm 63 right now. I'm totally healthy. I'm very vital. And I want to make sure that other people have the same experience in life because there's nothing more important in your life than your health, right? You have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy in your body, in your mind, in your soul, then what's it worth for, right?
Nothing else matters.
Exactly. So if you have pains and all this is not a life. So there are certain things that you can do, that you can even start. I work with a lot of people in their 30s, and I'm very happy about that, because this is when my journey into holistic health started. And it's about, it's about the food, it's about the sleep, it's about the purpose that you have in life. Am I doing a work that I'm really into, right? It's about the environment that you are living in. So this is why I decided to stay in Sri Lanka and not go to cold Germany again. And also it's about the people that are around you, right? The people that make up your life, your family, your friends.
Yes.
So it's these 5 characters that makes a good, healthy Ayurvedic lifestyle. And one thing that is important to train a little bit is the routines that we have. Oh, I forgot exercise. Exercise is also important, because the routine. Just let me know. Tell you about my routine. When I get up in the morning, the first thing that I have is like a warm glass of water. Afterwards, I brush I brush my teeth actually earlier. I brush my teeth, I clean my tongue, I have the water. Then I go back to bed and have a meditation. Sometimes only 5 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. I have the pleasure to live my life like not around the clock. So I can have my meditation as long as I want to, and then I go to have a yoga exercise, which is also like at least half an hour or 1 hour. And I do that every day. And afterwards, I go for breakfast. This is my morning routine. I have other routines, like having my lunch at most of the time at the same time. It's not like totally punctual, right? But I don't want to miss it. And my dinner is always light. I have a very light dinner. That's according to my age as well, because I'm in Vata age. And now we're talking about Vata Pitta Kapha. I don't want to go too deep into Ayurveda, because this is things that you can also Google. I'm in a Vata situation, so I have like a light dinner, and I go to bed like 5:30. It's like 10 o'clock, light out. So this is the Ayurvedic lifestyle, to say. So one of the things that is very important for me is like the exercise, the good food, and the mindset. Because things happen. And as I told you, I'm a stubborn optimist, right? And I train this one. This one needs training. Like train your thoughts, like not going into that spiral, that downward spiral, but keep the energy up all the time. Most of the time. I mean, I'm human. You're human.
Yeah.
My clients are human. But there are certain tools that can support that. And there are certain tools where you can go like this, and then you're better. But you have to train these things. So this is the first answer to your question. The second answer to your question is how do I work in Sanasuma Ayurveda Homestay, the business that I'm running in here? And I do it in 2 ways. The first step for people is they call me. They say, Lala, what's going on? I'm in this situation, and I'm thinking about coming to Sri Lanka and do Ayurveda. So then we dig a little bit deeper. I ask them a lot of questions. And one of the decisions they want to make is like, do they have a lot of money? But do they have enough money to go and want to have like a very exotic, luxurious stay in a luxury boutique hotel? I have a cooperation partner for that. But if they have a budget, if they're just on a budget, and that is something that I'm very unique, that's a very unique niche right now. There's nobody doing that in Sri Lanka, so I'm very happy still doing that as a very unique offer. You can stay in my homestay. It is only 3 rooms. It's a shared bathroom. But it's a very, very nice tropical scenario. You have a company like of my cats and dogs. I have 12 cats and 2 dogs right now. And they are kind of they are supporting these, to say so, like cool down, calm down that people need when they come from Europe. So I have mainly like Germans, because I'm German, but I do have English people, American people. I have people from all over the world.
Anybody's welcome.
Yes, anybody's welcome anyway. The thing is like, I wanted to make sure that people, even with a small budget, can come and have this experience. And the experience that they are making here and that they are making in the hotel is called Panchakarma. That would be your next question, right?
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
yeah, budget traveling is the future, and it's a very futuristic niche you have, I would say.
Yes, I think so, because I'm in a lot of groups about budget Ayurveda, about budget traveling, about backpackers and these people. This is very special people, because this is not people who are poor. This is people who had done their work for example, summertime, they are working, seasonal work, and then they are saving their money. So they have a budget and they want to travel as long as possible. But they
Yeah.
still have some needs, so it's not
Yeah.
this is what you can see down south now. It's like a lot of yoga tourists, a lot of
Yes.
spiritual things happening here, a lot of young people coming. And so
Mm-hmm.
if they are looking for an Ayurvedic approach, okay, sure, they can go to a spa. But if you want to dig deeper, it's not about one massage. It's about a
Yeah.
holistic approach. And
Yes.
this holistic approach is what we call a Panchakarma cure, because you commit to do this every day for at least 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, depends on your age, depends on why you are coming, what is your issues. And Panchakarma is a system. It's one of the hard parts of Ayurvedic healing, because it's a holistic system. It's not about just going to a spa or even to a center. There are Ayurvedic center, even government centers here. But it's not only to take the treatments. It's about the consultation with the doctor. It's about the herbal medicines that you are taking. It's the kind of treatments that you are doing to approach the goal that you are setting yourself. It's the food. The food is very important, because this is what you take into your, even after the cure, take into your daily life. It's the exercise. Again, this is what you take into your daily life. And it's the mindset. And that is something else very unique that you can only experience at my house, is the connection of Panchakarma and coaching. Because I have that experience since I was working. It was all in all 7 years that I worked in the hotels as guest relation and yoga teacher. And my experience was there was a lot of people coming to do a Panchakarma cure because they are in crossroads in their life. That means, it's like maybe it's more like the middle-aged woman who is either they retire or they are divorced or the children out of the house. They are suddenly in a situation where they think like, wait a minute,
Something is
what's
missing.
yeah, something is missing. I'm stuck somehow. Is this all? What can I do? Okay, first idea is I go and treat myself. I go for a wellness treatment in Sri Lanka. But if we are in the consultation, if we're talking to the doctors, there's a deeper layer, and that's the mind. That's the mind. It's not only the body, it's the mind and the spirit. Body, mind, and spirit. This is what we're talking about all the time in the holistic approach, right? So here now I got the idea. Actually, I want to provide people the opportunity to clear their mind as well. Because I believe the toxins that we are cleaning with the Panchakarma, they are not only because we have bad food or we have bad environments or we have stressful lives. Stressful lives, yes, but why? What's the reason? Why are you stressing yourself? And so there's deeper questions behind that. And it helps people a lot, especially women. I wouldn't say men are not the same, but I have most of the time, it's 90% women that I'm working with. And women like to talk about these things. The minute they talk about it, and it's clearing, it's like, oh,
Yeah, the
yes,
opening up.
yeah, totally. And opening up, and also like, then there is room for creativity about creating something new in their life. Like, okay, they go back sometimes to the skills that they have, and they haven't done this because they have to take care about the family. That was their main job, but actually they are good in something else. And so we kind of figure that out, and we kind of, since they're after the cure, they're rejuvenated. And my dear, you can see that, especially with the middle-aged ladies. Yeah, if they do 2 or 3 weeks of cure, they look 10 years younger, and they love it. The first hotel where I was working, there was a lot of people from entertainment, and I know why they are coming every year because it's kind of a lifting, right? Without any chemicals or any surgeries or anything of that. right? So that's the second thing that I would say. And if I do a cooperation with I told you I have a cooperation with a luxury boutique hotel, which is really, really lovely hotel. And people have their own bathrooms and they have an infinity pool and they have all these luxury things around them. Amazing environment, looking to the whole Bay of Veligama, you can see from the Yogashala. Really, really nice. And in there, if you come on my recommendation, I will take care about you. That means like I will be there for the consultations. I will explain why the treatments are done. I will help people if they are not happy with what is happening with them. I will, hold their hand, because in the middle of a cure, there's always like a downer. People say like, all these toxins, they got free in the body, they got free in the mind. So the people are asking, what is going on? Why do I feel like this? I don't feel good. I'm in a cure. Why? I say, okay, hold on. Just be calm. Let it go. Let's process these things, because you have to go through a valley and then you go up again, right?
Yeah.
Because also a Panchakarma cure is made in 3 steps. So the first is the preparation. The second one is like the treatments. It goes deeper. It's like these 5 Panchakarmas that you are doing. Talk about that later. And the third thing is about rejuvenation. Once I would like to compare that with a motor. If you have a motorcycle or a car and you have all these old oils and dirt and everything, if you put new oil in it, yeah, of course it will be a bit better. But isn't it more easy if you take out all the dust and all the old oil and then put the new oil in? Then it can run much faster, much more.
Yes.
And this is like a bit, it's not really, you can't compare the body with a motor, but it gives you the idea what happens. Once you have lost all these toxins in your body, you feel much lighter. Metabolic system is working better. Nervous system is working better. And all in all, all the functions of the body is better. You see better, you hear better, your vision is more clear, right? So it's an amazing process, and that's why I love what I'm doing, because even if people sometimes in the middle of the cure don't like me because they don't like themselves, right? And now I'm pointing the finger like, oh, you have to look at this, right? Please, take the chance to clear your mind as well, and one of the main processes, just to pick one process out, and because it's very related to Sri Lanka, is the forgiveness. Forgive yourself, forgive the other person, forgive what you created and didn't work out in the end, right? This forgiveness process is like we go to a Buddhist temple and to a certain ritual in the temple, and it's like, okay, you carry the water through the bowl tree, but the effect, if you do that, is enormous. It's like amazing how people can clear up just because they get deeper into this process of forgiveness. And in the modern world, like in Europe, people are not doing these kind of rituals. So if they are here and they have time and they can reflect on things, they are happy to do that. They're happy to join these very deep Buddhist traditions in Sri Lanka. How the people in here clear their mind, right? So I'm combining it.
It's from what you say, if I were in your shoes, I would be so proud that I'm helping people, especially at this age that we live, Lala. We really need to find that healing, either spiritual, religious, or whatever that suits you, and if it comes with understanding, healing your body inside and out, like what you do, it's amazing work, really. And I have this overthinking problem, especially at night, and now I know I have to come to you.
Yes, please come. I mean, we were talking about you coming to Sri Lanka. You have a standing invitation to come to my house and to see about the work, and also to, it's Ayurveda is about healing and wellness. Both of this is fine, right? And it's a lifestyle as well. This is what I'm, showing people, because this is what I lived since 30 years, and it makes a total difference in my life. Because if I look at my school friend, I have a certain school friend, and she is not doing well because she was neglecting me. When I started my yoga education and meditation, she was telling like, are you with your yogurt and your mud? Well, how is it? Yeah, that was 30 years ago. Nobody knew about that. Today, I mean, she's a cancer patient, so I'm not very happy to say so, but you know, she could have prevented that if she just would have listened to me earlier. We lost contact, but we came back there was an intermission about 20 years. And I teach her yoga now. She's doing yoga. She's having a more healthy lifestyle. So it is something that is actually expanding. It's not, it's like more and more people are interested in it.
Yeah, and there's awareness into this.
Exactly. And there's also like, you know, this world is shifting. We have, you know, artificial intelligence. We have
don't know what's coming in the future.
Yeah, and the main thing that you need to have, and because we were talking about forgiveness, one of the other things that is very important is trust. You know, you trust the process, you trust yourself, you trust your intuition, you trust the world, you trust the Sri Lankan surrounding, you trust the experts, you trust your husband, right? You trust your son. I trust my animals, right? So this trust is also something that can give you a lot of strength and a lot of comfort, right? And also, you know, trust is mainly connected to your intuition. Sorry, my cat just. Okay. Sorry about that. So it is, trust is something very, very important, right? To learn and to train.
Yeah. And Lala, since you said most of your clients are women at this time of our lives, I mean, at this time, how things are happening in the world, and at this time of our life, like I'm in like my late 30s onwards, you know, we have so many responsibilities. We also have to work, so much going on around us. So if we can put some weight off our shoulders with these kind of Ayurveda or healing holistic practices with expertise like you guys, I think that's really a big help to move forward in life, you know. It's really,
it is. And if I may, I can give you a little advice what you can start today already, because what you are talking, one of the advices I really love to give to people when they ask me, what can I do immediately? What you can do immediately is take 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. Nina, do you think you have 5 minutes in the morning?
I do, for sure. I can make it.
See, so these 5 minutes, you just sit down, close your eyes. That's it. And see what happens. And you just take the time. Maybe you have, you know, sometimes I have like a piece of paper and a pencil because, you know, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I just write it down and close my eyes. So the meaning of this is like, take time for yourself. Close your eyes.
Do nothing.
Do nothing. Do just nothing. Just breathe, right? Just be in the moment. Just be totally present. And if you can do 5 minutes, you surely very quickly find yourself sitting for 20 minutes. That's the thing about it. You know, in the morning you have that time. In the evening you have that time. In the morning, maybe you are a little bit hectic because you think like, oh God, go to the toilet, I want to go and see my husband. I have to prepare breakfast for my son. I have to do this, I have to do that. Okay. Anyway, you took the 5 minutes, right? You had, you know, you planned your day. In the evening, it's easier because in the evening, it doesn't matter if you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because you just fall asleep. If you say you have problems with falling asleep because so many things in your head, try it. Just sit down in a place, just tell your family, I have my 5 minutes, please don't disturb me. Have a paper and a pen, write down what is necessary so it's out of your head in the pen, in the paper, right? And try to make yourself like really calm down. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. I'll try that.
Let me know.
Yes, Lala, your tip is very, 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 very helpful. And like we were discussing before, everybody, regardless of their financial situations, deserves some healing and finding themselves and prioritizing themselves in life. So yeah, people like you are, again, I'm telling you, are really, really helpful to guide us through this path, you know. And you mentioned Panchakarma in many situations, I noticed. Can you please elaborate more on this, Lala?
Yes, of course. My pleasure. Panchakarma is a structured cure that you are doing. As I already mentioned, it's 3 parts, but it's actually like 5 procedures that you are doing. Most of the time, it's only 3 that are practiced, because the 2 that are not practiced, I tell you first, is like the vomiting, medical vomiting, and the other one is the bloodletting. That is sometimes made if somebody has like varicose veins, then we can talk about bloodletting as well. But then there is like one of the main things is nasya. Nasya is a cleaning method of your nose. So oil comes in your nose and goes into the back of your throat as well. And it's a massive cleaning of this whole area. So that, you know, most of the people have a lot of slime in here, or it's blocked, or they can't look very well, or they have brain fog as well, right? So that's the 3rd one, called Nasya. Then we have a purgation day. Purgation is prepared. As I told you, there's a preparation phase, and then there is the end of the preparation phase, you get herbal medicines. I mean, this is prepared with the like oil massage. Oil massage is like, it's medicated oils it's not like a deep tissue massage. It is about putting medicated oils deep into your tissues. That's why you have this full body massage almost every day. And this will, together with the herbal medicine that you're taking to the inside, it will make like, it's like a kind of a magnet to the toxins. And the toxins are coming out with your sweat. So the climate is, again, very helpful in Sri Lanka. It comes out with your stool and with your urine, right? And I would add, as a coach, it will come out to your tears as well. This is the mental, especially when we talk about Shirodhara. Shirodhara is something that is not one of the 5 processes, but it's one of the main treatments that is very necessary to do, especially for people who are overthinking, Lina. Shirodhara is very, very helpful, yeah. Shirodhara is the hot oil pouring on your head, on your forehead, right? It's either moving from one side to another, or it's covering your 3rd eye. So this is Shirodhara. Shirodhara is a treatment that is, there's not very much scientific research around it, but what we can say over the generations and generations that doctors have done it is like, it will clear your mind. It will, you see better, you smell better, you feel better, you hear better. So all 5 senses are much better afterwards. And you can, and also like, it's a stimulation for your brain. You know, so your brain is staying clear and vital, and you don't have these, you know, I can't find the words, where's my key, these kind of things, right? So that is very helpful for that. But it's not one of the 5 procedures. So we had the vomiting, we had the bloodletting, we had the nasya, and we have the purgation, and the 3rd one is enema. The enema is an irrigation that you do. It's more at the end of the treatments, so to take the most of the toxins out of your colon. Because in Ayurveda, we believe that if your metabolic system, if your digestive system is not working well, your metabolic system is not working well. If the metabolic system is not working well, your nervous system is not working well. Your nervous system is not working well, you don't feel good. All in all, you don't feel good. You feel overthinking, you don't sleep very well, you are nervous, you get out of your mind, you know, get angry or get disappointed or get sad, depressed. So this is the way it works. This is the 5 procedures that you have. And as I said again and again, it's like preparation, and then it comes the main treatments, and then comes the rejuvenation. And let's talk about rejuvenation. Like that. Rejuvenation is about like having certain foods. So this is why it is holistic, and this is why you should not do it without a host. That's what I'm doing with my host. And it comes with certain medicines as well. So Ayurveda does know about rejuvenation medicines, which is very interesting. And of course, Nina, if you just think about having a massage, a facial, a whatever, you know, scrubbing and sweating and everything for 2 weeks or for 3 weeks, don't you think you feel amazing afterwards? You know, you already feel amazing if you have one of these treatments. But if you have this for 2 or 3 weeks, it's just like a rebirthing.
Yes.
It's, I can't, emphasize it enough. I just feel like it's one of the things that everybody should do in their lives.
Yeah. So, Lala, being a vegan family, a question popped in my mind. Now, let's say as a family, we come to your homestay and we want to practice this course with you. How vegan friendly is it?
It is totally vegan friendly because the vegan, the rice and curry, actually, it is all vegan. If you take out there's only eggs, fish, and chicken. You can have that in the diet if you want to, but if you take it out, it's vegan because we cook with coconut milk, not with the dairies.
You want to add something else other than we discussed so far?
I would say one thing that was a bit of an issue recently, because we were talking about the lifestyle in Sri Lanka, and as I told you, I'm working as a holistic lifestyle coach, and I'm in a lot of groups as well. I support a lot of women because I have, I'm working with a lot of women. And one of the things that I like to mention is about the women who come to Sri Lanka and fall in love with Sri Lankans and start a business with their partners. I had the opportunity to work with some amazing women who really got disappointed and who lost a lot of money because of that. And I would just like to say a recommendation to get more information and get more help around it, because most of the time they come to me and it's already too late. They didn't sign anything. They just give the money away already. They're not actually the owners of the business or of the land. They've constructed houses and they are not the owners of the houses, and then suddenly they figure out actually that guy has a family situation they didn't know about. That guy has a drug addiction that they didn't know about. That guy has maybe getting angry because he couldn't maintain the expectations of a foreign woman, because we have different expectations. And to say so, the social climate in Sri Lanka is very patriarch. That means like the men are everything and the women are like serving the men. And in the beginning, the Sri Lankan men they are very interested in foreign women because, we're very liberated, especially in sexuality, but we are also making our own money, and that is all fine. But after some time, there is like a mismatching happening, and
the real problems float out.
I wouldn't say it's like that. It's just like because two cultures are coming together, and it's difficult. It's difficult to maintain that, right? So in the beginning, ladies, if you come to Sri Lanka and you find a man who's very attractive and you really fall in love with him, there's nothing against it, because love is one of the strongest forces in life. But if you start a business with him, then think again how to do that. Because if you're at home, you also didn't start a business with your husband maybe, or you think about it, or you make some contracts. Even if you marry, like one of the parts is very rich and the other one is not, you even make a marriage contract, right? So think about these things at first. Don't just put your money into a business without any contracts, without signing, without information. There are so many legal ways how you can do it, and just keep that apart from the love, maybe, right? Still, you can love your husband, your boyfriend, really you can do, and still he can help you with that, but make sure that the legal situation is covered. So you don't be disappointed and you don't be like kicked out of the country and go on a blacklist and never can come back. So this is the worst case scenario, and it happened, ladies, it happened. So just to make sure that, as I told you, like I'm really stubborn, positive and optimistic about things. So I can help, most of the time it's too late, as I told you, so I help the ladies to keep a clear mind and see what we can do. And also with my network, I connect them to the lawyers and to the business coaches that I know that can help about these legal things, because I'm not a legal citizen in here, but I have some ideas and I have some good contacts, so I can help these people. So I don't know if you want to keep this in me, no? But yeah,
No, no,
think
I
it's
would. And I also would like to add, yes, you can like somebody. Yes, you want to invest and make Sri Lanka your new home, but please take time, take a lot of time, especially if you are a young woman or an independent woman with some savings, because we are very different from the West. I must admit, our cultures are too different. And yes, still in Sri Lanka, unfortunately, women being independent or wants to do whatever she wants to do is still it's an emerging idea. So we are still adjusting to that. And the other thing is, always get lawyers or professionals involved in whatever you do, especially when the money is involved in it. Yes, men and women in Sri Lanka, I would say, they have sometimes past traumas, childhood traumas, and we've been through war and so many things. So it's better to maybe spend more time and think on it, sit on it, sleep on it, and then decide, especially when there's money involved and your life involved. Yeah, it's not an easy decision. And I'm glad that you are actually providing like a moral support or counseling to ladies who face these unfortunate situations. Yeah, thanks for bringing up, Angela. I'm definitely keeping this on the episode. So, Angela, coming back to the beautiful Ayurveda and all the holistic services you provide, can you tell us how people can find Sanasuma Homestay? How can they benefit from your knowledge and your services?
Yes, Lena, of course. Thank you. Of course, you can just contact me on all the links that you're providing. The first thing that you need to know is like hop on an initial call with me, just one-on-one, so we can find out where are you right now and what do you need. What is the purpose of going into an Ayurveda cure, and then we take it from there. It's a very personal, very individual thing. So there is not there's not a, of course there's offers and there's a structure and all this, but in the end it's always the person, the individual personal approach that I talk to people.
Yeah, understanding their requirements is important. Yeah, that's the first step.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's the thing about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a very individualistic, personal thing. Nobody is the same. I mentioned the doshas. We have 3 doshas in Ayurveda that is like a foundation and everything. Everybody has these 3 bioenergies in their body, but the levels are different. So it might be that I have a treatment and you don't have it, but we might have like sinusitis, but I get a different treatment than you get because you are a different dosha type than I am, right? So everything in Ayurveda is very personal, very individualistic, and that's how we start from the beginning. So anybody who's contacting me, I will find out what is this person's situation. What do they want? Where do they want to go? How are they right now? What do they?
Okay, so put it simply, call Lala. She'll help you.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
Lala, to wrap this beautiful episode up, I learned so much from you. I'm sure the viewers, tell us, guys, in the comments, have you learned anything new about Ayurveda?
Yes,
Tell us.
please
Yes. So, yes, it was beautiful. To wrap this episode up, I want to ask you 2 questions, Lala. Okay. The first one is, what would you advise for, I think you already touched upon it, but I want to remind them again. If you want to find the right place for you, regardless of your budget, you can be a luxury client or a budget client. What are the main things to look for? I'm only talking about Sri Lanka here in terms of Ayurveda tourism. Okay. And the second question is, if an expat who came to Sri Lanka and fell in love with Sri Lanka and thinking of settling down as an expat, what would you advise them?
Okay, the first question is, you are in a situation where you want to come to Sri Lanka and do some wellness or some healing. Again, it's the personal approach. It's about, please call me, and then we will find out what is your budget, what is your need, where do you want to go, do you want to be at the beach, do you have is it important for you to be really calm and be more in the hillside, All this is very personal, so it's very
Mm-hmm.
hard to give a general answer to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, really, as you said before, call me and we find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your second question, an expat who falls in love with Sri Lanka and wants to stay here. I would just, remind them what you said is be patient, because things in Sri Lanka are much slower because the climate is not a climate where you can be fast. It's not a climate like that. So everything takes more time. Everything takes more time, right? So you need to be patient. You need to train your own, and you need to be like, come here again and again and stay for a longer time. Don't come here for a holiday only, right? Try to make some time to stay half a year on a tourist visa before you can take the decision to come here. And then, of course, there are so many opportunities in Sri Lanka, I would say, so many. And so many business opportunities as well. And then you go from there, because again, it's personal. It's what do you bring? What is your profession? What is your skills? What is your talents? What do you want to do? What is your budget, right? And then you can do a lot of things in Sri Lanka. I would encourage anybody to come here and stay here, right? And face challenges you have to face everywhere in the world.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And
You
take
choose
time
the, yeah.
Take time, take the time that challenges even can happen to you, and you say like, oh, okay, can I live with that? Can I live in for me, for example, it is like so many times I tried to learn Sinhala. So many teachers I had, and it doesn't come to my head, right? So is it possible for me to live in a country and to dump down my English so somebody who rarely speaks any English can understand what I want? Yes, it is, but it takes my patience. And it took some training for me to have an English that is kind of similar to the Sinhala. So it was good that I had these trainings, Sinhala trainings, because I know there's no difference between he and she, for example. They have a different timeline, right? To tell them like, I want to have this. And then you say like, but right now. Because if you say, I want to have this, and then you're waiting days and days and days and nothing happens, because you didn't say you want to have it right now. You didn't say that. So little things, about that. And I would say like, it's, of course, I'm living here for a long time, but I love to share my experience with anybody who comes here, anybody who wants to live here. I encourage my friends, for example, to come here to my place first, so I can give them like a few days to get into this Sri Lankan flow, right? To meet my friends, the friends that I can't speak that much English, and they are helpers, and the friends that are very educated and very easy to talk to, right? And have, for example, the most important thing, to have the experience about the country, about the nature, about the ocean, about the food, right? So that's the main thing.
Yeah. Personally, I would say choose your battle. Everywhere you go, there is a struggle. Yeah. So after living many years abroad, I thought, okay, I have to struggle, or I mean, everybody has to struggle with the career or life or blah blah, with the weather, with the food, with the environment, socializing and everything. So I thought, okay, let me go to Sri Lanka, and there are some advantages, and I'll struggle with it. I choose that. So
yeah,
yes.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did. Thank you very much. Exactly.
So Lala, thank you so much for being with me, spending your time with me, and enlightening us on Ayurveda and many other important tips and information related to our well-being as human beings. Yeah.
My pleasure.
So happy to have you. Thank you. And you're free now to go and enjoy the rest of the Aurudu day today.
Yes, I will. I will go and have a little party, because I was excited to meet you and to talk about all these things. I'm very happy. Thank you for the opportunity, Lina. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Lala. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.